In the grand tapestry of medieval history, certain empires command immediate recognition. The Byzantine Empire, heir to Rome, and the mighty Ottoman Empire, which reshaped the world, are prominent examples. Yet, nestled between their eras of dominance lies a crucial, often overlooked power. This is the Sultanate of Rum, a realm that served as a vital bridge and a dynamic force in its own right. It is a hidden gem in the study of medieval Anatolia, a region central to global history. Emerging directly from the vast but fragmenting Great Seljuk Empire, the Sultanate of Rum inherited a complex legacy. It was born from conflict and opportunity, carving out its place in a contested land. The Sultanate played a critical, transformative role in shaping the future of Anatolia. Its actions and policies laid groundwork that would influence centuries to come. The story of Rum is one of ambition, power, cultural synthesis, and ultimately dramatic decline. It is a narrative essential to understanding the transition of Anatolia from a predominantly Christian Byzantine territory to a Turkic and Islamic heartland. The genesis of the Sultanate of Rum was both dramatic and bold. It began with the westward migrations of the Seljuk Turks. These were a nomadic people originating from the steppes of Central Asia. Their journey brought them into contact with established powers and new faiths. By the 10th century, the Seljuks had embraced Islam. This conversion provided a unifying identity and religious impetus for their expansion. Their relentless drive westward culminated in a pivotal confrontation with the Byzantine Empire. This clash occurred at the Battle of Manzikert in 1071. The Seljuk victory at Manzikert was nothing short of catastrophic for Byzantium. It shattered the empire's hold on eastern Anatolia and signaled a profound shift in regional power dynamics. Crucially, Manzikert opened the floodgates for large-scale Turkic migration into Anatolia. Nomadic groups and warriors poured into the peninsula, seeking new lands and opportunities. Amidst this flux, a figure of ambition emerged. Süleyman ibn Kurtulmuş. A cousin of the great Seljuk Sultan, he saw the power vacuum and seized his chance. Süleyman established his own independent realm in northwestern Anatolia. This marked the formal founding of the Sultanate of Rum in 1077. His initial capital was strategically located at Nicaea, modern-day Iznik. This city was close to Constantinople, posing a direct challenge to Byzantine authority. Süleyman's aim was clear: to consolidate Turkic power and fill the void left by the declining Byzantine presence in Anatolia. He sought to build a lasting state. The name he chose for his sultanate was highly significant: Rum. This term derived from the Arabic word for Rome. By calling his state the Sultanate of Rum, Süleyman was making a deliberate symbolic choice. He was asserting a claim not just to land, but to the historical legacy of the Roman, or Byzantine, Empire in Anatolia. It was a declaration of intent to be the new dominant power in the region. To govern their expanding territories, the Sultans of Rum developed a sophisticated administrative system. It functioned as a remarkably well-oiled machine for its time. At the apex of this structure was the Sultan himself. He held absolute power, his authority theoretically limited only by religious law and custom. The vast territory of the Sultanate was divided into numerous provinces. This allowed for more localized governance and control. These provinces were typically governed by trusted officials appointed by the Sultan. These individuals were often powerful emirs or walis. These provincial governors were the Sultan's key representatives on the ground. Their loyalty was paramount to the stability of the state. Governors were tasked with maintaining order within their territories. They were responsible for suppressing dissent and ensuring security. A critical duty was the collection of taxes. This revenue funded the state, the military, and the Sultan's court. Ensuring the loyalty of local populations and subordinate lords was also a constant concern. Governors acted as the Sultan's eyes and ears across the realm. The legal system of the Sultanate was a fascinating synthesis. It represented a unique blend of Islamic law, known as Sharia, and inherited Byzantine legal traditions. The Seljuk Sultans of Rum were pragmatic rulers. They understood the need for flexibility in governing a diverse population. They often allowed the non-Muslim populations within their borders, particularly the large Greek Christian community, to retain their own legal customs and religious practices. This policy of relative tolerance was crucial. This fusion of legal and administrative approaches fostered a degree of peace and stability. It allowed the Sultanate to govern a culturally and religiously diverse region more effectively than a purely rigid system might have. The Sultanate of Rum's strategic location was one of its greatest assets. Situated at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, it controlled vital trade routes. This position allowed the Sultanate to become a bustling hub of commerce and international trade. Goods and people flowed through its lands. The economy was fundamentally anchored in agriculture. Anatolia was a fertile land, producing vital crops like grains, fruits, and livestock. However, the Sultanate prospered most significantly through trade. It actively cultivated and protected commercial networks. The Seljuks capitalized on the extensive trade infrastructure they inherited from the Byzantine Empire. They revitalized and expanded these routes. Cities across the Sultanate, particularly the later capital Konya, became vibrant centers of trade and economic activity. They grew wealthy from the flow of goods. These urban centers attracted merchants from across the known world. Traders from the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and Central Asia converged there. Caravans crisscrossed the Sultanate, facilitating the exchange of goods. Spices, textiles, metals, and slaves were among the commodities traded. This commercial activity also facilitated the exchange of ideas and cultural influences. The Sultanate became a melting pot of different traditions. The currency of the Sultanate, the dinar, became widely recognized and used in regional trade. Its acceptance symbolized the economic might and stability of Rum. The thriving economy provided the wealth necessary to support the Sultanate's military and cultural ambitions. Beyond its political and economic achievements, the Sultanate of Rum made significant cultural and intellectual contributions. It fostered a vibrant environment for learning and the arts. The Seljuk sultans were notable patrons of arts, architecture, and scholarship. They invested heavily in building mosques, madrasas, and caravanserais. They transformed their capital city, Konya, into a dazzling center of Islamic culture and learning. It became renowned across the Islamic world. The architectural achievements of the Sultanate were particularly spectacular. Seljuk buildings are characterized by their grandeur and intricate decoration. They developed a unique architectural style. This style masterfully blended elements from Persian, Byzantine, and Turkic artistic traditions. Seljuk architects and artisans set new standards in Islamic architecture. Their work featured sophisticated geometric patterns, exquisite tilework, and elegant calligraphy. This architectural legacy was profoundly influential. It shaped building styles throughout the region and laid crucial groundwork for the later development of Ottoman architecture. The Sultanate also played a critical role in the spread of Islam throughout Anatolia. While Turkic migration brought Muslim populations, the state actively promoted the faith. They encouraged the settlement of Muslim communities in newly conquered or sparsely populated areas. This gradually shifted the demographic and religious landscape. The construction of mosques, schools, and Sufi lodges facilitated the integration of new populations and the propagation of Islamic teachings. This process laid the foundation for Anatolia's gradual Islamization. The cultural and religious transformation initiated by Rum was one of its most enduring impacts. It left behind a rich cultural and historical heritage that endures in the architecture, art, and identity of modern Turkey. The story of Rum is an essential chapter in the complex history of Anatolia.